know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it a back day. Yeah, I got game, God in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it Turnpike Miles. Yeah, it's Google signing on, John to the Hancock and
welcome back, everyone, for the 40th edition of Once a Week. 40 weeks, 40 videos, and there's no end in sight. I'm Billy J. Ludis, and if this is your first video, then you've got a whole lot more to choose from for your second. For this week's message, guys, I want to take it to another level. I have a feeling this video is going to reach a lot of people. So if you feel this reaches you, or could reach someone you know, give it a share. Because this week's message, guys, is all about the heart and the mind. And the reason why I want this to be number 40 is because I started to notice that a lot of people don't let their heart lead them to what is best for them, but instead let their mind get in the way and stop you from moving on what could be the best thing to ever happen for you in your life. I mentioned in past videos that the mind is the greatest tool that we've been given because it can do or accomplish anything. And if you take a look at anyone in history, you can see how that is true. But if the mind isn't used correctly, or even controlled, then it can go to the darkest places. Or it can even keep you from the life you were meant to live. You see, I believe that the mind was a tool we've been given to help us achieve the desires of our hearts. And I want you to think about that for a second. The desires of your heart. Meaning the mind wasn't meant to lead the way, the heart was. And the mind is the tool used to get the job done. And when the two work together, that's when your dreams become a reality. Most people only relate the heart to a relationship standpoint and don't actually act on where it could be leading you or telling you what to do in other aspects of life. I told you this was going to be a deep message. You see, the heart has so much power and energy within it, and it is what leads us in the life we want. But people only bring it up with regards to a relationship or heartbreak, because that experience comes with both love and sadly pain. Most people have been through that pain, and it isn't fun. It changes people. You're actually forced to change. But it isn't the heart that breaks in that pain, but more so the mind that breaks. Because the mind creates so many connections to that person, or that stimulus, I should say. Because this can go for so much more than just this one example. But it creates so many connections that when that stimulus is taken away, the mind doesn't know what to do. The mind starts to go haywire. The connections that it was so used to and made you feel so good are cut, resulting in that pain and resulting in everything else that follows. That's when people are left with a choice, and that is what they are going to do next. They can either stay in that pain and that hurt, or they can make a move and break out of it by going after their dream. They can either stay in the confusion of the mind, or they can make a move on what their heart is calling them to do. They can either wander around the distractions of the world, trying to fill that void they're feeling with other stimulus and connections, or they can take a step towards what is truly going to bring them out of that pain, what is truly going to bring them a step closer to the life they want, what is truly going to bring them to that happiness that everyone is searching for. I said it earlier. The mind is the greatest tool, but if it isn't used correctly or directed, it could keep you from the life you want. Because just as powerful as the mind is when we control it, it can put up so many roadblocks for us that really aren't there. If our minds aren't strong enough and focused enough, it can create the pitfalls for us in the forms of anxiety and all the nerves that come around, or depression and all that sadness that could come if you only focus on the negative. Or even anger that could come because you have that sense that you should be doing something so much more. You can't just lead with your mind. Your heart plays a pivotal role in this too, which directs you on the correct path you're supposed to move on. And I know you're probably asking, well, Bill, how do I know the difference between the two? You see, the mind tells you all the reasons why something can go wrong, when the heart tells you all the reasons why it will go right. The mind will keep you with that dead-end job because it's going to tell you, oh, I don't know if you can get another. You should play it safe and stay here where you know there's an income. It isn't the best, but you're safe here. When your heart is sitting there all along, telling you and whispering to you that you are made for so much more. You are meant to achieve. You are meant to do great things. You are meant to be the best you could ever be, because there's only going to be one you in this world. There is never going to be another you. Your heart is telling you to leave your mark in such a great way. Your heart will always tell you to take the risk, because it'll work out in your favor in some way. And it will. I guarantee you that, because you'll grow. But your brain, your mind perceives the idea of risk as bad. And that's when all the ideas come into your head about how you can't do it and how you should play it safe. That's when the choice comes into play. Do you lead with your heart and take the risk and grow in the process? Or do you play it safe and not even try? And that's something to think about. It really is. But I can tell you this. The only reason I'm at video 40 right now is because I made a choice to lead with my heart and push through the worries that started to come into my mind. And I am that much closer to achieving my goals and my dreams and living the life that I was born to live. Think about who you want to be. Not who you are, but who you want to be. Whether that's a happy person, a successful person, someone people want to be around, someone who brings people up rather than tears them down. Someone who goes after their dream and won't stop until they make it there. Think about who that person is for you, because that's what your heart wants for you. Your mind will always put roadblocks in your way and tell you that you can't be that person. But the only reason why you even have that urge, the crave, the want to be something more than you are right now, is because your heart is trying to lead you there and knows that you are meant to be that person. Don't let your mind get in the way from everything that is meant to be yours. You need to push through those worries of not being good enough to do what you want to do, because they are just lies to keep you where you are. You need to push through the pain you've been through or are going through and lift your head up, because your heart is trying to lead you to something better in your life. That saying, when one door closes, another door opens, is so true. But the only problem is that so many people keep their head down because their mind wraps them up. That they miss out on what life is trying to give you now. That your heart is trying to tell you to lift your head up and see. Because your best life is about to start. But you can't be wrapped up in your mind or you'll miss out on it. The heart and the mind are two of the most incredible powers we've been given. They're meant to help you do great things in this world. They're meant to help you live the life you want. They're meant to work together for the betterment of you. When your mind starts to run wild in every direction you can think of, sit back and take a deep breath. And think about what your heart is trying to tell you is best for you and what you need to do to move forward. The mind is incredibly powerful, but in certain situations, it needs a little help to stay on track, as well as the heart. The two need to work together to keep each other in check. And when you start to do that and take a step towards something incredible for your life, that's when you see the result. And it brings you that much closer to the life you were meant to live. Until next week, guys.